Welcome back, guys, to Football Dynasties. I'm your host, Dell. Week 2 is in the books. The Eagles let that one go. Yikes. Anyways, we'll get to all that later on in our main podcast. This is the Waiver Wire Week 2 edition. Who you need to get. Here we go. All right, my number one pickup of the week. Pacheco is out, which means that the Chiefs' backfield is going to be wide open. Now there's talk of Carson Steele or Samaje P. Ryan. I hope I said his name right. I'm going P. Ryan. Great pass catcher out of the backfield. Kind of what the Chiefs have been doing the first couple of weeks. Is a little bit more of using their running backs in the passing game. I mean, Pacheco's a monster, so you hand it off to him. He's going to run it right up the middle. But they're going to have to kind of adjust their offense a little bit going forward. 6 to 8 weeks is the injury. So you're going to want Samaje on this one. All right, our number 2 pickup. If you haven't, Quentin Johnston. I mean, 5 for 6, 51 yards, 2 TDs. I'm a Chargers fan, and even this one kind of hurts me a little bit because last year did not play out the way we thought it would for our first round pick, but he's looking like he's kind of getting it together in year 2. So I think he's definitely worth a pickup this week, and let's see how he does moving forward. At number 3, the Red Rocket, Andy Dalton. Shocking, Bryce Young is benched. Not shocking. I mean, you can kind of go one of 2 ways with that, right? Maybe it's a good thing, and he's going to be able to learn a little bit more. But again, we'll dive into that in the main podcast. So Andy Dalton's going to be my number 3. Last year, he played 1 game. He put up 36 fantasy points against the Seahawks. So if you are in dire need of a quarterback for a few weeks, that's your guy, especially if maybe you had Tua in your lineup. Maybe this can be the guy to replace him. Not a lot of quarterbacks left out there, so Andy Dalton, don't be afraid to give him a go for a couple of weeks. The next guy I want you guys to go after, and we need to start talking about him a little bit more now, is going to be Alec Pierce, wide receiver of the Colts. With Josh Downs out, this guy has definitely seen a lot more playing time, and it looks like Anthony Richardson is definitely looking out for him. Stat line for the last game, 5 for 7, 56 yards, and another touchdown. We all know that he balled out in that week 1 game. So, I mean, he's ranked number 8 right now. In most 8 to 10, depending on what your format is, especially in sleeper. So, I mean, you got to give this guy a go at this point. Josh Downs is out and is going to have a hard time, I think, getting back in this lineup with the type of targets Alec Pierce has been seeing, and he's been reliable. The next guy is going to be Brock Bowers. Now this dude just gets open. 9 for 9, 98 yards. Usually they say stay away from rookie tight ends, but I mean, you can make the case after watching him in those first 2 games that he's the best tight end in the league. Getting a little carried away with that. But yeah, if you watch those games, and I watched every snap in game 1 and game 2, and I mean, this dude just gets open, man. He is a monster. He's definitely worth the pickup now. He was still available in over 50% of the leagues. So if you don't have him, go get him. I took him number 1 overall. That's right, Phil. I took him number 1 overall. But I also had the first 5 picks, so it was just for ADP purposes that I did that to mess it up. But Brock Bowers, he's definitely a guy you want to have on your team going forward. Dynasty leagues for sure, if you don't have him. Redraft leagues, go get him. Brock Bowers, if you can, do it. Fab, spend it all if you haven't yet already. Slight honorable mention, and the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because Kareem Hunt has visited the Kansas City Chiefs, and they are signing him to the practice squad. So if you're in a sleeper league out there with a deep roster, he might be worth throwing a claim out there. It's just a practice squad, so maybe nothing. Dalvin Cook hasn't seen a whole lot of action in Dallas. Kind of a similar situation, veterans. But Kareem Hunt's been with the Chiefs before. He knows the offense. Won't take him long to figure that out. So if you've got a deep bench and you got a roster spot, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to pick him up. Guys, thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you next week. Let's do it.